year ago, you were homeless.
That's correct.
A year later, you are making, I don't know how much money. What is it? I don't even want a million?
I don't like, but yeah, I'm in a million. It's over a million.
Okay. Well, the big question is, it's like how? I just want to go straight into like kind of learn about yourself through the story. But how did that happen? What was that journey?
Well, basically what happened, well, first of all, I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have found out about the home-based business industry 30 years ago and got involved in it. At the time, I actually owned a little franchise called, it was a credit card processing company. I had employees, and what I found out is I hated it. And I never forget a guy literally across the street from me. His name was Dwayne, not gonna call his last name. Dwayne used to run over to my office every day, and I mean, he would literally get on my nerves. And he would say, Tim, you gotta look at this, man. You can make this thing called residual. I'm like, man, just get out of my office, stop. I'm not interested, I'm not doing none of that MLM stuff. My daddy always taught me that is a scam. I don't do, that's a pyramid, it's a pyramid. I'm not interested. And he was so consistent and persistent that finally one day I got fed up and I said, dude, how much is it? And it was like $100 to get started. And they marketed a dental vision and prescription drug card. I said, okay, Dwayne, if I give you $100 and I pay this $9.99 a month, will you leave me alone? And that's how I got involved in the industry. I had no interest of working it, wasn't gonna share it with anybody, had no clue. And I never forget, about a week later, I got a packet in the mail. It was called a kit, because back then you didn't have the internet. Now you can go on the internet and everything. They can put everything online or through your cell phone or whatever. And I got this kit, and I began to go through, and it had these circles and these O's. That's all I remember. And it showed me how if I just went out and shared this thing with a few people, and I got a few customers, you know, I'm in Mississippi, everybody has teeth. And I'm like, okay, if I go out here and share this with a few people I know, like making additional money, I could make this thing called residual income. And that's what I did. I called a few people to my office the next day after going through that kit. I said, man, just bring me your checkbook, come sign it. Because back then, there wasn't no credit card processing, there was no internet.
How long ago was this?
This was 30 years ago. You had to fax in applications, you took checks and had to wait on them to clear and all of that stuff. And what's funny is I had a goal. I said, man, this residual income thing sounds sweet. That means I'm gonna get paid over and over without getting out of bed. And I don't have to deal with these knucklehead employees. I don't have to figure out their taxes every month. I don't have to deal with people not coming in. I have to come in and open the doors. And I hated it, even though I enjoyed the lifestyle it provided. I enjoyed being my own boss, but I didn't want to do the corporate thing. I didn't want to own a company. I didn't want to have employees who I loved dearly. Some of them are still with me to this day in this new venture. But yeah, that's how I got involved in this thing. And that was 30 years ago, and I set myself a goal that I wanted to get to $1,000 a month residual income. That's all I wanted, was $1,000 a month residual income. And after a couple of months, I hit $1,000. That means I was getting $1,000 a month, every month, whether I got out of bed and that. So that's how this all started, and that in this journey of this thing called network marketing, whatever people want to call it, MLM, home-based business. I call it phone-based business now because you do everything from a cell phone. And yeah, that's what happened to me. And you know, fast forward, you know, through the years, I was able to get myself involved in a company. I had done one, built it to the top. It was a travel company. Found out some things about the ownership that wasn't really cool with me, morally and ethically. And I got started with this guy, with this company called Skinny Body Care. And the owner of this company, his name was Ben Galinsky. And I got on the phone with him, and a couple of things happened. I heard his heart, I heard his vision. I understood what he wanted to do. He wanted to just help people win and do it the right way. And this guy had had paid out over $1 billion in commissions to people. And after I saw the system, marketing system, I said, sign me up. And we marketed literally a fiber peel. And I'll never forget it. The only thing I didn't like, it was a girl on the bottle. It was a pink bottle. And here I am, a grown man that doesn't need to lose I need to gain weight. And but I said, let's go, let's do it. And I said, Ben, I'm gonna put 1,000 people in this thing in a month. He said, yeah, whatever, yeah, right. He told me this later. But you hear this stuff all the time of what people are going to do. People talk good game, whatever. Well, I didn't do it in a month. I did it in about a month and a half. I hit it. Called him up and said, I hit 1,000. He was like, this was, I want to say probably 8 years ago. Well, it was in that company. About 11 years ago when I got started with that company. Here's the thing, I made about $4.8 million in that company. And during that time, I had moved from Jackson, Mississippi to Dallas, Texas. And with that income, moving up over the years, I finally ended up where I owned my own home. I paid cash for it. It was about $350,000. Paid cash for it. Had the house, the fence, the pool, all the luxury things you want. Real nice house. I had my wife, a couple of kids, 2 girls that we were raising. I had 2 brand new leased Porsches every year. I was living the life. And the bad part about it is I was living too much of the life. I had 13 credit cards. I had this old silly black card where you could impress everybody. You go out and you draw out that metal card and you drop it, showing off and whatever, paying all that money for a credit card, paying all that interest, and just wasn't managing my money. And what happened was Ben decided to get out the industry. Ben walked away. He just said, I'm getting out the industry. I've made enough money. I'm good. And I just don't want to do it anymore. And he said, but I'm going to take care of you and the team here in Skinny Body Care, and I'm going to place you with a friend of mine's company that we're going to move everybody to, and we'll give you a top spot over there. And that compensation plan wasn't for me. And it just wasn't the right fit for me personally. So I said, if you guys want to do it, go do it. That's great. Take care of the team and move on. But for me, just wasn't a good fit. And I ended up getting very, very sick. Now, this is when the problems began. I caught double pneumonia. Oh. And I was rushed to the hospital. Didn't even know.
Understood what double pneumonia is.
I couldn't explain to you now. All they told me when I got to the hospital and took the X-ray, they said you could die. And I had 2 blood clots on my lungs, and I remember them rushing me into surgery. And when I came out of surgery, I had tubes in me to drain out the pneumonia. And I stayed in the hospital about a month, and I was released to go home. And when I got home, something was off. Now, I'm not going to get into personal business. It's one thing I don't do. I don't have hard feelings, any of that stuff, so I'm not going to touch that here or ever. But things weren't right at home. Something was off. And no one wanted to take care of me, and here I am in a wheelchair now because my legs locked up. Okay, I lost the use of my legs when I came out of that ordeal. Something wasn't right, but I dealt with it because I love my kids. I wanted to make sure they were taken care of. But my income dropped from making a lot of money to zero, and I was nothing but debt. So I had to start getting rid of things. And it started off, I had a Rolex watch I had won from a company years ago. It was worth about $35,000. I pawned it for $1,000. And I got rid of my credit cards. I just let them go. I just didn't pay them. Just being honest, this was no good. This was no good. I'm getting letters. I'm getting calls from credit collecting agencies. I let my cars go back. I never understood what an involuntary repossession was. But because I called them, they were courteous to not come snatch the car with a tow truck. What had happened is they come, give them the keys, and they nicely take the cars. Okay. I let my Porsches go, so my Porsche motor credit account overnight charge off. And my spouse convinced me to sell a house. And remember, I paid cash for it. I had a little debt with the RS, but long story short, when we sold that house, I sold that, went ahead and took a bad deal on it. That house probably worth $700,000 today. I took $350,000 for it, and long story short, we walked away with about $120,000 because they took everything. The IRS took their cut, and whatever's due, taxes, all that's taken out. We had $130,000, and I made a huge mistake because I had the proceeds go into her account, and she was just supposed to give me half because in the state of Texas, it's split down to me. Even though we weren't divorced or anything, but things are weird at home. Fast forward, After losing everything, I ended up, it got so bad in my living conditions, because we had moved into an apartment, and we were up a flight of stairs, small hallway, couldn't wheelchair down, and I was treated so bad at this time in my life. I told you something wasn't right. And it was just so bad that I got to a point where I needed help, and nobody was helping me. And I played this little game. I knew that any time I would call for an ambulance and lie and go to the hospital and tell them I was suicidal, they would keep me. I played that game for a minute, and that game ran out. Okay, they finally got hip to it. The last place I went and told them I wanted to die, and I was lying. I had no suicidal thoughts, but I just knew to play the game. That they're going to keep me at this hospital. I'm going to get a meal, and I'm going to be taken care of, getting my bed made, and I'm going to have some help, these nurses around, and my home life is all jacked up. Something's done now. And the last situation I was in, they took me from the hospital and put me in a psych ward, and where they have the psychiatrists around every day, and you've gone through that experience. And you know, I'm big and tell people, you know, if something's going on, your mental health is serious now. You know, get that straight. It's nothing you got to keep to yourself. And sometimes it's just good to talk to other people. And I don't want to get choked up telling the story. I hate telling this story. I'm doing it for you, but I hate telling the story.
Okay.
I've never used this story to build a business or anything like that. Very few people know the story, but I'm giving you the full deal here.
Okay.
I was in the psych ward for a week, and the psychologist that would come in once a week and make the decision, do you stay or do you go, made the decision, there's nothing wrong with this fool. This dude's one of the smartest people I ever met. He got to go. And I was like, where am I going? I'm looking forward to it, like going somewhere nicer than this or whatever. No, I was going to a homeless shelter. And they sent me to a homeless shelter. And I never forget, I said, I'm not staying here. I'm not going to do the homeless thing. No. And they gave me a bus ticket in Dallas, Texas. And I used that bus ticket to get a ride to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. And I spent the night in the airport. I went over to the international section, spent the night. And I'll never forget, there was a guy there going to Korea, and his flight was out the next morning. He had been in the States. He owned restaurants, but he didn't have any United States money. And he wanted something to eat out this vending machine. And all he had was Korean money. And I gave him my last $5. Wow. Here I am, about no money. I gave him $5, and he was able to get him something to eat. And I never forget it. And I always say, when you do good, good comes to you. You know, I'm not going to get here and get religious and preachy, or, you know, but I do believe in when you do right by people, good things will come to you. I just believe that, morally, ethically, and I believe in doing things morally and ethically. And I ended up, they kicked me out the airport, making a long story short. They knew I wasn't supposed to be in there.
What?
I didn't have a ticket. Yeah, you can't sit in the airport.
Okay, yeah.
Even here in Atlanta, you know, you
Right.
can't even go in there now unless you have a
There's
ticket.
limits.
Yeah, they're changing that, right? So what happened was they went back to the homeless shelter, and I talked to the lady. She said, I hope we can get you a room tonight. I'm like, if you don't get me a room, not a room, but a cot, that's what they call it, you're going to have to sleep basically in Skid Row. You're going to have to sleep outside in a tent. Or we have a section, but I'm like, are you kidding me? Here I'm in. She said, but I think I can get you a cot. And she got me a cot. And the way this game was played is every day at 2 o'clock, they started giving out tickets. And they had this long line of homeless. And when you got your ticket, it had a number on it. And then they'd go down the numbers, and if you got there early enough, you got a cot that night, where you were inside, so you weren't amongst the cold and the rain and all that. Now I'm in a homeless shelter. I'm around homeless people. And I didn't tell you this part. When I first went to the homeless shelter, someone from the homeless shelter stole my cell phone. Stole it. Took off running, and I couldn't chase her.
Wow.
Crazy. So I had no cell phone, nothing but the clothes on my back, in a wheelchair, in a homeless shelter. Fast forward. I cried one night so bad, and I said, you know what, Tim, I'm not going to cry again, because I didn't have my family, I didn't have my girls, I'm homeless, And I cried and I said, you know, I don't want to be here. If I did it before, I can do this again. And just before that happened, Ben, who was the owner of Skinny Body Care, had contacted me a few months earlier and shared with me he was starting a company. And if I wanted to be a part of it, I could join. And I asked him specifically, I said, well, why did you walk away from Skinny Body Care? You know, you do you. We've been friends all of these years. You've helped me make some wise financial decisions, even though I was blowing stuff. We've made some investments, and you're coming back in. And he's like E.F. Hutton. When the guy talks, you listen. You know, I made $4.8 million in the past with the guy.
And this is last year?
This was last year, literally last year. And he says, Tim, I got out of the industry. I'm going to be honest and frank with you. I walked away because I didn't feel morally and ethically good about it anymore. Because if you're passing one of those bottles, because here we are. Remember we were selling Skinny Fiber. I'll tell you about the pink bottle of the girl. But anyway, they take a bottle, a product like this, whether it be weight loss, detox, anything. And these network marketing companies buy these products for literally $6 to $8 to $12 if it's real high quality. And there are only a few manufacturers out there where they just go out there and they buy the products and they buy it in bulk, and then here's the problem. They take this, and I'm going to say $10 to keep it good. Here's our Super Greens right here, by the way. They take this $8 product and they mark it up to $60, $80, $100 or more to be able to pay commissions to what, if you've ever heard the terms, your uplines or your success line or whatever you want to call it. What Ben said he was going to do is take this same product, put the highest quality ingredients in it that other companies don't do because they skip on ingredients to keep the cost down, put the highest quality ingredients in it, like this one, it's organic, vegan, keto-friendly, gluten-free, and dairy-free. And he said, instead of marking this up, I'm going to start a little membership deal for $9.99 a month. I'm going to allow people to now buy this product instead of paying $69.95 a month on an auto ship for this. Our members are able to get this for, let's say, $14, $15. I'm like, wow, that makes sense. But what caught me off guard is when he said it was going to be $9.95 a month. And I got it. I caught it. But I said, well, it's going to be a long time to make some real money on a $9.95 deal because I'm coming from the industry where you're spending $60, $70, $100 a month. I didn't see it. And he said, yeah, you're going to need a lot more people, but with this affiliate program, it's not designed to make you a lot of money, but it'll be some extra money coming in. All right, let's go. So I said, well, the day you launch this thing, just let me know I'm in, or just put me in, whatever. Little did I know what was about to happen. Go back to the homeless shelter. They had a deal I found out about where if somebody would take you in, they would give you a Greyhound bus ticket anywhere in the country. Okay? And my sister reached out and said, no, just send them down to me. I got them. And I ended up getting a bus ticket. That's a whole nother story. I ended up in the Greyhound bus station a week because the buses weren't equipped. Anyways, I ended up going to Virginia to my sister's small house, sleeping on the couch up front. And it was tough, but, you know, my sister loved me enough to take me in. And I'm trying to figure it all out. And
this is what month?
This was in October of last year.
Man, that's only
this is months, I mean, just over a year ago. And I was able, because I was getting food stamps. Not food, they don't call them food, it was a card from Virginia that gave me some money when I got there on a card. And I went online and was able to get a cell phone, free, what you all call government phone, right? I was able to get a free phone. That's one you see these people, anyways. I get this free Android phone. Now, number one, I'm an iPhone guy. I would spend $1,200, $1,500 a year on a contract to get a new iPhone. You couldn't tell me, all my friends, I told them, you're crazy if you don't have an iPhone, get an Android. I got an Android because it was free. And I would get on that Android and literally go on social media, like you're doing here, and use that platform to share a link. And very few people would join, and I was getting checks for $20, $30 a week.
You were just sharing it to friends and family?
Not even family.
Just
God, no. No, just people on Facebook.
Okay.
Social media. Just followers. Just say, hey, take a tour of this, save money getting healthy with a membership. Man, let me tell you, Ben calls me up in November and says, Tim, we're going big. And he said, we're going to turn the system on. It's an online marketing system, free. We're going to put in this compensation plan where not only will you get paid on your, I'm not going to go through that right now, compensation, and we're going to let you get this thing called generational matching money. Cool, sounds good to me, let's go. And man, he turned that switch on there. Mind you, I'm living in my sister's house, on the couch, lights out at 9 o'clock, and I have nothing but an Android phone and internet. And when that system got turned on, I would go on social media. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. Man, I stank. I didn't take baths. It was insane. I was like this, like this, like this. Nothing can stop me. I'm not going to go get a job. Just sharing with anybody that would listen.
Like facts. And
this thing took off, man. Next thing I know, I'm getting my first weekly checks. I'm going from $20, $30 a week to over $1,000 a week. Just like that. Just like that, man. A couple of weeks go by, 4 weeks to be exact, a month. First week of January of last year, so what, 12, 13, 14 months ago, I moved from my sister's couch into a dump hotel. But that dump had a kitchenette. I don't cook. I can't even boil water, but it had a kitchenette, it had a bed, and it had a TV. And I had this so I could get DoorDash if I wanted something to eat. And I was making enough money to pay $700 and some a week to stay there. And I'm making $1,000, so a little cushion there so I could do it. So ended up living in that hotel from January till November of last year. 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Because this thing took off on its own to go all over the world, changing people's lives on a little $9.95 membership, just with a link, a website. I went from homeless to now my checks are running about $80,000 a month. And that's not including my weekly checks I already discussed. And it's no stopping it. All I say to people is, don't listen to the noise. All I can say to all of you is it's even better now because believe it or not, and I'm not being political at all, but numbers don't lie. And I know from privately investing some of my money, guys, the economy's booming right now. Inflation's up, but the economy's rocking right now. I mean, if you've got a 401k, if you're in the stock market, go look at your own charts. Everything's through the roof. Bitcoin, I don't do crypto. It's through the roof. I think it's like $69,000 a coin today. I bought it back when it was $7,000 a coin. And I've sold most. I've got a little percentage of nothing major. But unemployment is at its lowest point in 30 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Unemployment's at its lowest point. The income gap is at it's closer now. So now is the time to be an entrepreneur. And I always tell people, you may look at this thing that I'm involved with. I can help you change your life personally, if you want it bad enough. I have people around me, Dr. Breakthrough, yourself, people around me that want to see you win. And what I love about this industry is, it's good, bad, and ugly like anything else. It's good, but you're surrounded around winners. Yeah. And that's the first thing. Yeah. I'm in a situation, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now because of a friend of mine. He's been my best friend for 20 years. They said, just get his butt here. We got him. Yeah. And now I'm living in a condo. You're here. We're out in the, whatever you call this, the something room. We're having a good time. We can do what we want. Just got paid yesterday. I think my check yesterday was about 78 grand. And the funny thing is anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. And I'm just going to be honest, it's not for everybody. But I'll close with this. Finally, after months of being involved.
You're talking about what you did with LiveGood.
Yeah, what I did with LiveGood. Listen to this one. This is a funny story. I put my daughter in this thing. Yeah. My daughter called me up one day and she said, Daddy, I want a car because my car is tearing up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm not buying you no car. Okay, even though at the time I could have bought her one. And I said, let's figure it out because I want her to be an entrepreneur, but I knew she wasn't going to do anything. She's a dental assistant. She still lives in Dallas and beautiful grandbaby. But I just took a position in this company. I said, let me throw $40 in here. I'll pay the $9.99 a month. And because of the way this thing is designed, it has this thing called a matrix, and I'll just say that, and people go under people automatically, and you get paid on it. And it's funny, she's getting $120 to $250 a month. Now, that doesn't sound like much. Now, remember, this is just an account I put in under myself.
Yep.
I put her in this deal. Let me just cover $150 a month. $150 a month in a savings account. And I don't know if you guys know, if I'll give y'all some advice. If you have your money in a bank right now, move it. Move it. You're getting 0.0. If you've got a college fund set up, if you've got your emergency fund, go online. There are companies like SoFi, Wayfund. Just look. I'm not going to give you any links here. Put your money. They have these things called high-yield savings accounts, so you're still liquid. You get a debit card. The only thing is they don't have branches. But you can get 4.5 to 5.5% a month on your money, just interest alone, right now, because interest rates are high, okay? I just gave everybody a hint there. But anyways,
no game, okay.
Just that little thing I put my daughter in, that little money goes into a savings account, and she'll get a car this year, if she acts right. But, man, I just can't stress enough that what we're doing here is different, and I think it's what I love about it the most is not the money, because I'm on the other side of the money. It's not about money anymore. It never was really with me, but just to see average people finally winning in this industry, because this industry was built on game. 3% of the people in our industry that I fell in love with 30 years ago make
when you say
the
our
big
industry,
money.
Do you mean health and wellness, or do you mean
network marketing? Now, health and wellness is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, you got GNCs, all that. We don't have to sell our products. We just save people money.
Yeah.
But think about this for a minute. 3% of people make money in this industry. 3%. On top of that, you have 90% of people in this industry that aren't making enough money to even cover their auto ship every month. And that's sad. Something's not right.
Yeah.
And then you got another 5% that are making that sweet spot, $300 to $500 a month. Here in what we're doing, over 30% of people involved, week over week, are hitting a rank where I talked about it, where it doesn't cost you nothing. Okay, I did the yearly, so I don't even pay the $9.95 a month.
Right,
that's
like
check.
no money. It's $9.95 a month.
Exactly, but
That's
people
crazy.
get so caught up when you say network marketing, or
They do.
and let's cover this. Let's look at trends.
Okay.
And Ben is a genius.
That's the creator.
That's the creator.
Okay.
And Ben got to looking at the trends. Let's take a couple of things. One is retail companies are going this way. Kmart's. You don't see them anymore.
That's
They're
gone. Kmart.
J.C. Penney's. Yeah, they're gone. Who is rocking right now? Walmart because of their price, but the big ones are going to be your Costco, your BJ's, your Amazons, your Prime membership. I mean, people are paying $9.95 a month to get free shipping. But all of these companies are trending this way, while big box retailers are going this way. That's one trend. So let's just look at that trend. Let's talk about health and wellness. 71% of adults in America alone buy some type of supplement.
That's a massive percentage.
Now, okay, that's a trend. Nothing for me to sell here.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, real talk.
that's a trend, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the earth a few years ago?
With COVID, the emissions.
COVID.
Yep.
Now, I can't make any claims here. I'm not a physician. But listen to this. There's a couple of things we learned in COVID. One is everybody started working from home. So the home-based business industry started doing this during COVID.
It's true.
Right? You got people working at home. You're trending one way. Now, those companies I named a minute ago are membership-based companies. Mm-hmm. Do you realize there are car washes out there right now you pay $20-some a month for, and you can get unlimited car washes?
I just got one yesterday.
They're making a fortune. You can go get your car washed every day.
I just signed up yesterday. $23.
Now, whether you go get your car washed, you're going to give them $20 a month or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. So everything's trending that way. And then COVID hit, and the world started to want to get healthy. Mm. And there was one thing, I don't know if I have one over there in the D1. There's one thing they did, don't take my word for it, look it up what they found out. People wanted to get healthy. Mm-hmm. People began supplementing because it just made sense.
Yeah.
And they also found, I'll give you one here, it's a multivitamin. It's a multivitamin. I don't have to sell multivitamins. what I can say, I can save you money with our membership. What is this, $8.95 or something like that? If you move quickly, you can get a $5 off coupon. You get $3 and something. Go over there and try to buy this at Walmart with no preservatives. No, these aren't red and green and fruity and all. No, no, nothing artificial. 100% organic. 90-day empty bottle money back guarantee. So, anyways, back to these trends. Everything's trending this way when it comes to the membership model. Matter of fact, I don't know when this is going to be shown to people. Go look at Target. Target just announced they're starting a membership.
Really?
They want to go up by Amazon. Target. Everybody's going to membership models, all right? Then now the earth wants to get healthy. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. So Ben said the timing is right to do this. We're looking at the trends, and if we just catch this wave.
Yeah.
Now Costco has 120 million members. Our company, LiveGood, only has 1.1 million in 14. And that's fastest growing company in this industry in the history. I've been doing it 30 years. Never, unbelievable. 1.1 million members. Now, all of them making money? No. Some people in this company are just here to buy products.
Right. Just want to be healthy.
I mean, take the Super Reds. I don't have to go through product, but take our Super Reds, man. How much is this? $18.50. Y'all ever heard of a company you see it on TV all the time, Super Beets? Their main ingredient and the only proprietary ingredient is beets. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. It's good for cardiovascular stuff. It's good for your health. It's good for your blood pressure. $18 with a 90-day empty bottle, no questions asked, money back guarantee. So you could send this back empty and get all your money back. We don't want your money. I say we, but the company doesn't want your money.
Right.
I mean, look at our coffee, organic coffee. All of you out there, tell them go look up the coffee bean and how dirty and filthy it is.
Oh, yeah.
If you drink coffee, even whether you buy our coffee or not, you want to drink organic coffee.
Right.
Trust me. I didn't know this until a couple of weeks ago. I started researching.
Yeah.
Just go research coffee bean. It's one of the filthiest beans on the planet. And then if it's not organic, you're getting hit with pesticides. Right. Chemicals are going into that product, and that stuff's not good for your body. This stuff is 100% organic. So we're in the right place at the right time, and we're just getting started like Amazon started with books. We're just getting started with nutritional products. Can you imagine when we add things like travel, water purification systems, credit repair, whatever it is? I'm not saying we're going to have all that, but just imagine every time we introduce new product, and over the next 90 days, we're rolling out weight loss, which I just told you how big that is. Yeah. We've got the hydration product coming out. We've got the, everybody's even telling me, because there's so many to name. Imagine if I came to you. Imagine if a dying company, let's say, came up, and they said, we're dying, we're not moving inventory, and a company were to say, I tell you what, why don't you let me sell it? But we're going to cut the prices. And not only will we move the inventory for you, Kmart, I'm going to introduce it to 1.1 million consumers, just like that. Boom, overnight. Sales go up. Now, Kmart doesn't have the overhead. They're not doing this through a store. They're doing it through a little old network marketing company. Just imagine how big this thing is going to be. This company is just getting started. I can't stress it. What about discount programs where you can go buy a car and get it for whatever? We're in the right place at the right time, and this has never been done before. So people can say it's MLM and it's no. This is so totally disruptive. It's disrupting this industry. And here's what I love about this company. And people get on me, it's funny. I love the company. First of all, I'm an independent distributor. I signed up like the average person. And I can be tough. I can be rough. Because I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it. And what's funny to me is Ben is so smart. I remember when he first started this and we had a conversation. One bad thing about this industry is these companies that terminate people for cross-recruiting and all this funny stuff. They find ways to get rid of people making money, basically is what they do. And they'll say, oh, you posted some other company on Facebook. We don't. LiveGood doesn't care if you work. We don't have every product under the sun. Mm-hmm. You know, as long as you, and I tell people, and people get on me all the time, is I teach people that with leadership becomes responsibility. Mm. You know, protect your teams. And that's what I do. I simply protect my team. Yeah. I got 1 million people out here. I consider everybody my team because I'm in the bonus pool every month that everybody can quote. Now, talk about that. But protect your teams. You know, I've been around. I know it's a responsibility because I got 1 million people out there that follow me and look up to me and trust me and believe in me. So I have to be careful what I put into the marketplace. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, my dad always told me, I'll never forget, he was so wise. He always told me, and my real name is Blaine, by the way, and he would say, Blaine, don't ever piss in your own Kool-Aid. Don't ever piss in your own water. Now, what do I mean by that, my friend? If you're making money in something, let it make you money. And if you find another opportunity or you find another way to make money, but you got a little money coming in over here, why would you ever touch this money and disrupt this money? Mm-hmm. And I see it so much, especially in this industry, because everybody's fighting everybody and jockeying for people. And I don't even look at people, I don't call them people or affiliates or my downline. We're all human beings. Yeah. And if you're doing it ethically right and morally right, go do you. If you want to do credit repair, if you want to do another nutritional company, buy products from another, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But I was getting to a point is I can be tough, and I'm just an honest guy. And I see things. See, I played in this industry a long time, so I see things, I hear things. And a lot of times when you catch stuff, sometimes you got to say something to protect people. Now, people can do whatever they want to do. And I tell people and explain to them, I'm an independent consultant. I could walk away from this industry. And I encourage people to do what works for you. Mm-hmm. Do what's going to take care of your family. Because this industry, I'm going to be honest with everybody, you're not going to go from homeless and in 14 months to wine. I've been doing this 30 years. Mm. You may have an audience. So let me close by saying this, and you saw it with your own eyes. Dr. Breakthrough's here with us. He's also involved in the organization. But
I also want you to touch on what makes, what you said you got 30 years in. What was your, is this your experience that made you excel?
What made me excel was my hunger and I'm going to be honest, man, I didn't want to work for nobody. Yeah. Been there, done that. I never wanted to own a company because I don't want to run books. I don't want employees, so that's out. I never want a boss. I started originally coming out of college getting the car business. And, you know, people talk about car sales, they say whatever. I was making 6 figures selling cars. And I loved it, but I didn't like the hours. And I got married and things happened. But I didn't, who wants to work for somebody? And I don't get people making salaries. It's no growth. I mean, when are you going to get a 2% raise at the end of the year if you're fortunate? There's nothing wrong with that because this industry is designed for somebody to do it part-time. Yeah. What it's turned into is people think they can get in this industry and all of a sudden they're making $1,000 a month. And I'm like, can you get $1,000 extra a month on your job? Absolutely not. Can you? But here in this industry, you can, there's 2 things I like about this industry. One, you can control your own income. If you build it and you build it right, it could for a lifetime continue to pay you. That's one good thing. And the second good thing is you're surrounded around people that'll motivate you. If you are, look at Des behind the camera right now, and this one here, you can't even get her to open her mouth half the time. She acts shy, but now you can't keep her quiet. And the marketplace, man, this network marketing brings things to the table that traditional companies can't or don't. Mm. And it's fun. I mean, imagine a guy like me that literally get out of bed when I want to get out of bed. I go to bed at night if I go to bed when I want to. Every week on Thursday, I'm going to get a direct deposit whether I get out of bed or not. I'm able to do what I want, when I want, because I want to. And it's funny that you guys are here. We went downstairs. I went and got a shave, and as soon as we walk in, the young lady that it was a shop. There was a female-owned shop downstairs. And here's what's crazy. Here we are in Atlanta. We're in the shop, and Des gets to running her mouth talking about live good, live good, live good to one of the cutters in there. And she asked about our products because she said, I just bought some nutritional products. I just bought some magnesium. And the other girl who cut my hair said, oh, yeah, they got the best products and they're cheaper. Huh? Now, I said, excuse me, how do you know that? She said, oh, because a friend of mine told me about it, and I've looked at y'all products. I said, huh? I said, do you know who I am? No. So, are you in the company? She said, no. I'm thinking about it, ordering some products. You really don't know who I am? She didn't. I said, okay. So Dad says, you know that's the highest income earner in the company. And the other girl said, I'm on the site now. I'm ready to sign up. And I'm like, sign up. Then sign her up because she's ready to go. So some of you out there, if you're not following up with your people, see, ain't nobody's stealing your rep. You hadn't talked to this person, they're ready to go, but you didn't follow up and somebody else comes in. You know, it's not their job to say, oh, go talk to the person that you, no.
Okay, I did not know you were the highest income earner in the company.
I didn't really want to say that.
Oh, yeah, I see now. It makes sense.
But what's funny is I am not going to always be the highest. I truly believe that. It could be you. You know. The way it's designed, everybody can win. But yeah, here's the crazy part. Dad starts asking them, well, who owns this? And lo and behold, the owner shows up. And they get to talking.
She shows up at the bar? What?
She showed up at the barber just a few minutes ago downstairs. Oh. And the owner is talking about she's got all these...
the owner of the barbershop. Okay.
But it's not your average barbershop. This is Atlanta, okay?
Yeah.
We up here in Sandy Springs. This is
still Atlanta.
Over the top. But what's funny is she starts showing us all these products of other businesses that she showcased in her shop. And she says, we've got this thing coming up where we're letting other business owners come in and they can show their products, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me? Remember I talked about I gave the guy from Korea my last $5, and I said, it always comes back. Now, God put us in a position, we just happen to be in here, and this owner comes in. She's showing off these products, then says, we're having a showcase, and local business can come here and showcase their products or services. Make a long story short, we asked her how much, and she said, no, it's going to be free to the community. And I live right upstairs in the building where they're downstairs in the retail side, and I'm like, this is God. This is God, whatever spiritually you are. And I'm careful about saying that because we have people from different countries, speak different languages, different religions. Man, I got to say this. Yeah. The biggest thing I love about this company, you were asking about this, is what I love, is we're living in a world right now that is so much hate. Countries are fighting each other over religious reasons. Other countries are invading other countries. And we don't understand the strife. I mean, people are dying. And then, in this country, so much division. Everybody's divided.
Yeah.
You know, in this company, I have literally watched people come together. Philippines, Russians, Africans. Just everybody's coming together with the same mission and the same goals and just helping each other. And I truly believe in my heart, because it's not about the money, this company is going to change the world by bringing people together. I just want to give a big shout out to all of you for watching this. We're probably on this gentleman's YouTube channel. I actually looked him up the other night, didn't know him, and I said, oh yeah, this is powerful. He actually does these, he's bringing content to people that is to show people a better way, whether it's the company I'm involved with, which is LiveGood, but he brings so much talent. He brings people like Dr. Breakthrough and other talented, creative people out here that can actually change your life. And when you find your passion, whether it's with LiveGood or not, that's it. Now, man, God has brought you in my life. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna get this video. I'm gonna get 1 million people to your YouTube channel.
1 million people.
1 million people. I'll do that for you.
It's a blessing.
What I want you to do for me is show these people, if they want to, take a look at this, absolutely free, take a free tour. What do they need to do?
They need to go to the description and check it out.
So you mean go right down there or
Right
up there or
down-
wherever
right-
it is? I
right
don't know how
down there.
yours is
Right
working.
down there.
Go one of those
It's
places,
there.
there'll
It's
be a
there.
link. Just click the link, go in, watch the video, and put in your name and your email address. And that's it. Shows you everything, gives you a free business back office. And when you're ready to lock in, and you get on our calls, and if you ever want to get on one of our trainings or my trainings, I train every Saturday at noon. I do my own call, and you guys can meet me there, but go to that free link down there first. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
I've enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Once again, check the link in the description, and we will see you on that next video. Peace out.
Peace, everybody.